You ever see someone destroy their whole life in one moment? I have. It happened the day an HOA president blocked my fire truck while a house burned in her neighborhood. 30 minutes later, the world watched her realize the fire was at her own house, her own family trapped inside. Act 1. The Spark. My name's Jake Marino. I'm 38, been driving fire trucks in Orange County for 15 years. Before that, I served 8 years in the Marines. I thought I'd seen every kind of nonsense life could throw at me, until I met Patricia Whitman. Patricia was 52, perfect bob haircut, always dressed like she was on trial. She wasn't just any Karen, she was the HOA president of Sunset Grove, a place where the lawns looked like golf courses and the mailboxes were all identical. On the surface, it was paradise. Underneath a bureaucratic maze, Patricia built over 5 years, twisting rules into weapons. She'd already destroyed my friend Danny's career, kicked him out of a safety meeting for having a beard, humiliated him, and drove him out of the fire department. She sued our station once too and won $12 grand from the city. Folks called it the Whitman precedent. She wasn't just bossy, she was dangerous. That morning, smoke rose in the distance, black and thick somewhere in Sunset Grove. I drove my rig straight toward it, sirens screaming. Then Slam Patricia stepped into the middle of the road holding a laminated HOA regulation sheet like it was holy scripture. No permit, no entry. She snapped, waving a bright red prohibition sign with the HOA logo. She didn't look at the smoke, didn't ask about the fire, just crossed her arms and called the cops. I kept the engine running, dash cam recording. Standard procedure, but this time I knew it wasn't just for the incident report. This was evidence. "Ma'am, there's a house on fire," I said through the window, trying to keep it professional. Behind her, the sky darkened. She just shrugged. Rules are rules. Rules are. My chest tightened with rage. In 15 years, I'd never felt anything like it, white-hot anger mixing with disbelief. A woman with a clipboard was stopping me from saving lives. Act 2. Escalation and the turning point. 2 cops pulled up Martinez, a guy I knew well, and Johnson, younger, stiff as a board. Martinez owed me his life. I'd pulled him out of a wrecked cruiser a year back. Johnson? Well, he lived in Sunset Grove. You could tell by how he deferred to Patricia like a scared kid. Martinez said, "Ma'am, that's a county fire truck." But Johnson cut in. "We need to verify paperwork." He sided with Patricia, asking for registration insurance on a fire engine. Smoke curled higher into the sky while they checked forms. And Patricia. She'd gone live on Facebook, adjusted her hair, framed me in her shot, and told her followers she was protecting the community from reckless government vehicles. Thousands tuned in. She gestured at my rig like it was some fake contractor van. That's when the memory hit me. Years ago, I'd lost an old man named Henry Walsh, 84 years old, because I followed every damn protocol. Waited for backup, filled out forms, did everything by the book, while he died on his kitchen floor. His wife held his cold hand and asked why it had taken so long. Now here I was again, watching smoke rise, stuck in red tape. And for a moment, I'll admit, I faltered. I thought, what if I push through and lose my job? What if Patricia ruins me like she ruined Danny? My hands gripped the wheel so hard they shook. I almost backed down. Then I heard it. Thin, piercing, cutting through the suburban quiet, a child's voice screaming for help. It snapped me back like a jolt of electricity. I grabbed the radio, flipped it to external speaker so Patricia's live stream audience could hear every word. "Dispatch, this is Engine 7. I am being obstructed from responding to an emergency by HOA President Patricia Whitman. Log the delay. Notify the fire marshal." The comment feed exploded. "There's smoke behind her. Lady, turn around. Your HOA rules are killing people." Patricia's smile twitched. For the first time, doubt flickered. Then my phone buzzed. It was Danny. His voice cracked with panic. "Jake, my mom's babysitting Chloe today at a house in Sunset Grove. I can't reach them. That's my little girl, man. Please." The address, Maple Ridge Drive, the same street where the black column of smoke was climbing. My stomach dropped. This wasn't just any fire, this was Danny's family. I looked at Patricia, still streaming, bragging about community standards, oblivious to the hell behind her. I leaned out my window and said it loud enough for her live stream to capture. "Mrs. Whitman, do you know whose house is burning? It's yours." Her face broke. 25 years of arrogance cracked into raw terror. She spun around, finally seeing the inferno. Her voice trembled. "My mother, my granddaughter, they're inside." The HOA queen had become a desperate grandmother in one breath. Act 3. The climax and collapse. By the time I reached Maple Ridge Drive, 32 minutes had passed. That's a lifetime in fire. The two-story colonial was an inferno, first floor fully engulfed, roof sagging. The stairwell had already collapsed. Patricia stumbled beside me, mascara streaking, screaming. "They're in the back bedroom upstairs." No time for blame, no time for justice, just two lives hanging by a thread. I forced my way through the rear entrance. Heat slammed into me, smoke like concrete in my lungs. Furniture collapsed, ceiling tiles rained down. I found Mrs. Henderson, 68, unconscious, sprawled beside an overturned wheelchair. Little Chloe huddled in the corner, her tiny hand blistered from burns, eyes wide with terror. The rage that surged in me then, it was hotter than the flames. All I could think was, they should have been out 20 minutes ago. I hauled Mrs. Henderson out first, dead weight in my arms, dumped her into waiting hands, turned back, dove in again. Ceiling gave way as I crawled toward Chloe. She whimpered, "Where's Grandma?" I lied, told her she was safe, scooped her up and pushed through smoke and fire until daylight broke over us. The crowd erupted, not in cheers but gasps. Cameras, reporters, neighbors all watching as I carried Chloe out while Patricia collapsed to her knees in the street sobbing. The live stream still rolling from her dropped phone broadcast everything. My rescues, her breakdown to millions. The same woman who once lorded over mailbox colors was now begging on asphalt. "Please, please save them. I'll change the rules. I'll resign. Anything." But it was too late. Insurance denied her claim. The policy excluded obstruction of emergency services. Fire Marshal Chen opened a criminal investigation. The HOA board voted her out, unanimously banned her from future meetings. The woman who built an empire of rules was left with nothing but ashes. I finished my report, packed my gear, and looked back one last time. Patricia knelt in the ruins of her kingdom, her neighbors staring at her with nothing but contempt. That was the moment she lost everything. Final line. When rules matter more than lives, nobody wins.